Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Jason Lorenstein, and this is our Facebook Live yoga class, Hatha Yoga Level 1-2. Today is Monday, June the 22nd, 2020, and the time is 12 o'clock. So I hope you're having a lovely day today as we approach our practice together on our mats. And we're going to begin to find our way onto our mats, lying down on our back, knees bent, feet apart, and just releasing the head on down. So constructive rest pose, and just begin to breathe here. Okay. And as you find your way onto your mat, this is a great opportunity for us to just check in with our body and with our breath. See that your feet are about hips width distance apart. So allow that head to release on down. Allow the eyes to close here and just let your breathing to be long and slow. Begin to notice your inhalations and your exhalations. Just continuing to breathe here. Good, and on the next breath, you'll hug the right knee into the chest. Take the left leg extended on forward and just draw your right knee out towards your right shoulder. As you draw the right knee out, just begin to allow your right hip flexor to move away from the hip as you allow for the left thigh to press down towards the mat. Draw the left knee into the chest as you extend your right leg on forward and flex on through your right leg. So as you draw in here, left knee hugs into the chest, left outer hip moves away from you, and just continue to breathe as you allow your right thigh to press down towards the mat, allowing that breath to be long and slow here. Good. And then once again, you'll hug your right knee into the chest. Now, see that you have a strap within reaching distance. You'll grab hold of your strap, and you're going to take your strap over the top of your left leg. So you'll draw the strap right over the top of the heel, and you'll lengthen the right leg up towards the ceiling as you draw the left leg down towards the mat. Flex through the left foot. See that the right thigh is pressing away from you. Draw both shoulders in towards the chest. Allow that breath to be long and slow here. Continuing to breathe. Allowing that right hip to move away from you as you press through the left ball of the foot. As you feel ready, you'll draw the left knee back to a bend. You'll let the right knee release from that strap, and you'll begin to take the left foot and place the left foot into the strap. Extend the left leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Begin to lengthen the right leg all the way to the front of the mat here. Just breathing here, so press that left thigh away from you. Allow both shoulders to move in towards the chest as you breathe here. Good. And as you feel ready, right knee comes to a bend, left knee comes to a bend, and you'll begin to take your knees to a bent position, and you'll simply allow the knees to drift over towards the left side of the room. If you'd like, you can release those knees onto the floor. Otherwise, keep those knees floating up off the mat. So you breathe here. Eventually, you'll draw those knees back to center and bring the knees over to the other side. And breathing in here and releasing. Good, and taking those knees back to center, you'll allow the knees to come towards the center chest. Just begin to rock forwards and backwards and eventually rolling your way on up. Now take your legs, bring your legs back behind you, spread across the fingers here. Begin to press down through the thumb and the forefinger. And as you feel ready, tucking the toes underneath, float those thighs back and find your way into downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose, continue to press the thighs back, just like we did in Supta Padangusthasana a moment ago. Allow the shins, or allow the calves to move towards the shins, and allow those fingers to lengthen all the way forward towards the front of the mat as you lengthen the heels all the way towards the back of the mat. You're breathing here, allowing for the shoulder blades, or the scapulas, to spread across the backs of the rib cage. Release that head all the way down to the mat. And as you feel ready here, begin to walk the feet just a little bit wider apart so you have some space in between those legs. Good. Continue to press down through those fingers. Continue to press down through the feet. Feel the thigh bones drawing back. Feel the outer arms drawing in. And then looking forward in between the hands, begin to walk the feet forward towards the front of the mat. And as you inhale here, lift up halfway. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana arms, palms come together to touch. And as you exhale, glide the hands all the way down to the sides. Palms face the front of the room. Good. Inhale, float the arms up and above your head. Palms touch. As you exhale, hinge and fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, heart, and the sternum. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat, walk the feet back, find your way into plank pose, the top of a push-up. See that those heels are pressing back. See that the outer arms are drawing forward. Lower the knees down to the mat. Release the tailbone all the way down to the mat. Now take your hands, walk your hands back behind you, and as you inhale, peel up the chest here. So spread across the fingers. See that the thigh bones, see that the tops of the feet press down. See that the thigh bones begin to lift up. Breathe here as you hug the elbows in towards the chest. Take the palms, pressing them down. Float the thigh bones up. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, spreading across the fingers here. Releasing the head down towards the mat as you continue to breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Eventually walking the feet forward towards the hands. And as you inhale here, lengthen the chest halfway. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float your arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana arms, bringing the palms together to touch. And as you exhale, gliding these fingers out to the sides of the body. And again, inhale, float the arms up and above your head. As you exhale, hinge and fold down to the mat. As you inhale here, lengthen through the chest, the heart, the sternum. Walk the feet back, find your way into plank pose. Spreading across the fingers, pressing down through the thumbs and the forefingers. As you exhale, lower the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Walk the hands back. See that the elbows are hugging against the side ribs. And as you tuck the feet under, press down through the fingers. Float the thighs back. Downward facing dog pose. Spread across the fingers here and release the head all the way down towards the mat. See that your forearms lift up. See that your thigh bones press back. Continue to breathe here. And as you feel ready, walking the feet forward towards the hands once again. Inhale, lengthening halfway up. Exhale, folding. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana arms, palms come to touch. As you exhale, glide the hands back to the sides of the body. One more time. Inhale, float your arms up, fingers touch. As you exhale, hinge and fold down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the chest halfway. Place the palms down on the mat, walk the feet back, plank pose. Plank pose, lower the knees down, lower the chest all the way down. Good. Inhale, peel up the chest, the heart, the sternum here. Tuck the toes underneath, float the thighs back. Downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose here, spread across the fingers.
Feel the outer arms wrapping in. Feel the belly hugging in as you lengthen back through those heels. Look forward towards the hands and step the right foot in between the hands. Spin the left heel down to the mat and firm your right outer hip in.
Begin to inhale, float the arms up and out to the sides for Warrior One pose. As you feel ready, straighten across that right leg and take your hands to your hips. See that your right foot is in line with your right hip, and as you feel ready, re-bend into that right knee. Take your arms out to the sides again. Good. So see that your left heel is pressing down. See that your right arm is reaching forward. As you inhale here, turn the right palm up towards the ceiling and float the right arm up. So the right knee bends a little bit more deeply, and the right hip lifts off of the right thigh. As you feel ready, straighten across that right leg and take the arms out to the sides again. One more time, bend deeply into that right knee. As you exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat and step your right leg back to meet the right leg back to meet the left. Shift forward into plank. If you'd like this time, you can lower down halfway and pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. This is called Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, or upward facing dog.
As you exhale, press down through the fingers. Find your way into downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, looking in between the hands, stepping the left foot forward, spinning the right heel down.
As you inhale here, float the arms out to the sides, Warrior Two pose. Once again, straightening through that left leg, seeing that the left heel, left hip, and right outer foot are in line. As you feel ready, exhale, bend deeply into that knee. Arms come out to the sides once again. Good. From here, glide the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Reach up through that left arm. Reach up through the left side of the chest as you bend more deeply into that left knee. Arms come back out to the side. Straighten across and through that left leg. One more time, bend deeply into that left knee. Arms come out to the side once again. As you exhale, windmill the hands down to the mat and step your left leg back to meet the right leg. Shift forward into plank pose and then shift back into downward facing dog. And breathe here. So continue to spread across the fingers. Lift the inner forearms up. Wrap the outer armpits in and continue to lengthen those thigh bones back. As you feel ready, walking the feet forward towards the hands. And as you inhale here, peel up the chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, glide the arms back down to the sides as you come into standing mountain pose. Take the hands to the hips and bring the left knee to a bent position. Spin the left heel out. See that you're pressing down through the right foot. As you feel ready, draw the left knee to a bend, grab hold of the left shin, and place the left foot into the right thigh crease. As you press the left foot into the right thigh, press your right thigh into the left foot. Bring your hands into the center chest. As you firmly press both foot and thigh in towards one another, inhale, float the arms up and above your head. As you float the arms up and above the head, lengthen the tailbone back towards the backs of the heels and lengthen the sternum all the way up through the crown of the head. Take the arms forward to the chest, bring the palms forward in front of you, and as you feel ready, raise the fingers up towards the ceiling here. Keep lengthening through those side ribs to the tops of the fingers. And as you exhale here, release the hands and bring them down through the center chest. Take your hands to the hips, glide that left leg on down. Right knee comes to a bend, spin that right heel out. Inhale, draw the right foot up and place the right foot into the left thigh crease. Left foot comes into right thigh, right foot comes into left thigh. Left thigh comes into right foot, and the right foot comes into the left thigh. Hands come into the center chest. This is called Vrikshasana or tree pose. As you feel ready, inhale, float those arms up and above your head. Reach up through the side ribs all the way to the fingers. Lengthen through the chest, heart, and sternum. As you exhale, bring the hands in through the center chest. Release that right leg on down. Inhale, float the arms up and above the head. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen through the chest here. Palms come down to the mat. Walk the feet back, coming forward into plank pose. Shifting forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Downward dog, step the right foot in between the hands and spin the left heel down. See that the right hip firms, and inhale one more time, warrior two pose. And straighten across that right leg. So as soon as we straighten across the right leg, we want to see that the right heel begins to line up with the left arch of the foot. So again, we begin to bend deeply into this right knee. So we do that really to open up the hips and to open up the legs here. Keep drawing that left arm back. Again, straighten through that leg. So hands come to the hips. So the right knee bends and the right knee tracks over the second toe. The right outer buttocks revolves in and underneath you, and the left outer foot presses down and back. The arms extend out to the sides. And as we are here, we sit into the pose. So the right heel presses down, the left outer foot presses down. Feel both legs drawing in opposite directions. So that right foot is drawing more deeply into the mat, while the left foot is drawing more deeply into the mat as well. Both arms are extending out to the sides. Good. Straighten across that right leg. Take your hands to your hips, turn your feet in, and turn your feet to the other side. See that your left foot now is turned out, and see that your left foot is parallel with the inner edges of the mat. Bend deeply into that left knee. And as you feel ready here, take the arms out to the sides. Warrior two pose. Keep reaching back through that right arm. Keep reaching forward through the left arm. Good. As you feel ready here, begin to straighten across that left leg and bring the hands back to the hips. Continue to breathe here, and as you feel ready, one more time, bend deeply into that left knee. Right arm comes out to the right, left arm comes out to the left. See that you bend more deeply into that left knee. Keep reaching out opposite sides here as you breathe. So sinking deeper into the feet. Left foot presses down, right outer foot presses down, arms extend out to the sides. Straighten across that left leg, hands come to the hips. Turn the feet in, lift the chest up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold down here.
Bring the hands right underneath the chest, release the head on down. Close the eyes here. This is called Prasarita Padottanasana A. Walk the hands back towards the heels. The hands start to become in line with the heels, or rather the heel of the palm begins to come in line with the heel of the foot. Allow those outer arms to wrap in. Allow the head to release down. Allow the eyes to close here. Continue to breathe in and out through the nostrils.
And then take the hands to the hips, press down through the feet, inhale, lift the chest. Spin the right leg out to the right, bend deeply into the right knee one more time, and take the arms out to the side. So lots of Vira-2s in this class. Keep pressing through the right ball of the foot. Keep seeing that the right knee is bent to 90 degrees. Hug the right outer hip underneath. Keep pressing through that left arm. So as you bend deeper into that right knee, the left arm still draws back so that the trunk of the body is perpendicular with the floor. Straighten across that right leg. One more time, turn the right foot in. One more time, turn the left leg out and bend deeply into that left knee here. As you bend deeply into that left knee, arms come out to the sides. Again, right arm draws you back. Bend deeper into that left knee. Keep extending back through that right arm. Keep lengthening through both sides of the chest here. Good. And as you feel ready, straighten across that left leg. Hands come to the hips here. One more time, inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way down. So take your hands to the mat right underneath your chest. Walk onto the fingertips, lengthen the chest, heart, sternum forward. Take the left hand right underneath the center chest. Float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep drawing the right hip in. Keep lifting through that right arm as you begin to spin the chest up towards the ceiling. Breathe here. And as you exhale, lower that right palm down. Take the right hand underneath the center chest, float the left arm up towards the ceiling, and breathe here. And as you exhale, lower that left palm on down.
Inhale, peel the chest forward and up. As you exhale, release the head on down. Take your hands out to the outer legs and release that head down towards the mat. And once again, as you take your hands to the hips, inhale, peel the chest on up. Spin the feet over, bend into that right knee, and take the right leg back. Shift forward into plank pose, lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back for downward facing dog pose. A downward facing dog pose, let's lower those knees down onto the mat. Let's begin to lower the chest all the way down onto the mat. So as you lower the chest all the way down onto the mat, untuck the toes. Take the fingers, take the thumbs, interlace the thumbs, and begin to pull the fingers back behind you. Draw the shoulders open towards the ceiling and begin to peel the chest up. Hug that belly in. As you inhale, press that left foot down. Inhale, float the right leg up. Keep lengthening through the chest. Keep lengthening through the heart. Keep lengthening through the sternum. Exhale, lower that right leg down. Inhale, float the left leg up. Keep drawing that left leg to center. Breathing in here as you lengthen chest, heart, sternum, lower left leg down. Once again, inhale, lift right leg up. See if you can lift those hands a little bit higher. Keep hugging the belly in, lengthening the tailbone towards the heels. Breathing here. Lower that right foot down. Inhale, lift that left leg up again. Firm the left outer hip in. Breathe here as you lift through the arms. And exhale, lower on down. Release the head down. Release the hands next to the sides of the chest. Tuck the toes underneath. Press down. Float the thigh bones up. Downward facing dog pose. So from downward facing dog pose here, let's step the right foot in between the hands and spin the left heel down. Let's press through the feet. Inhale, lift the chest, and find our way up to standing. As you continue to breathe here, see that the left hip spins towards the right foot. See that the right hip draws back towards the left heel. As you bend deeply into that right knee, see if you can keep both sides of the chest lifted here. Inhale, float the arms up and over the head. So as we float the arms up and over the head, press down through the right ball of the foot, hug the belly in, and breathe here. And as you exhale, straighten across that right leg. We're going to do that again. Bend deeply into the right knee here. So keep lifting through the chest, keep lifting through the heart, keep lifting through the sternum. As you exhale, straighten across that right leg. One more time. Bend deeply into that right knee. So keep lifting chest, heart, sternum. As you exhale, glide those hands down to the mat. Step the right leg back. Shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, press back. We'll step the left foot in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. You'll see that that right heel is drawing back. See that that left foot's drawing forward. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you feel ready here, straighten across that left leg. The right hip draws forward, the left hip draws back, and then once again, bend deeply into that left knee. Good. So again, we'll straighten across the left leg, from that left outer hip in, press through the right heel. One more time, bend deeply into that knee. And as you exhale here, glide the hands down to the mat. Step the left leg back, shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back for downward facing dog. And as you feel ready, looking forward in between the hands, walking the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, peeling up the chest here. Exhale, folding. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana arms. As you exhale, glide the arms out to the sides. So we're going to begin to take a pose called Garudasana pose. So you'll take your hands to your hips, and you'll keep your hands on your hips for now. And then you're going to bend your knees, and you're going to start by taking your left leg and just crossing it over your right. Just like this. You're going to take your hands to the center chest. Now you have one of two options with the arms. You can take your left arm underneath the right like this and hug the shoulders as you spread across the scapula.
Or you can take the forearms up towards the ceiling and lengthen across the fingers here. Coming into the variation of arms as we move into eagle pose. As you exhale, release those hands down the sides and unlock the toes. So, spreading across the feet, pressing down through the big toe mounds of the feet, pressing down through the heels. Take your right leg, cross it over the left. See that the hands come into the center chest, and then from here, you're going to take your right arm underneath your left, so just like this. So you'll hug your shoulders, and then breathe here. So continue to breathe here as you lengthen through the chest, the heart, the sternum. And eventually, you'll begin to bend at those elbows and lift the elbows up. Draw the elbows away from you. Keep lengthening through the chest. Belly hugs in. Spine is long. Breath is long and slow. And as you feel ready here, you'll begin to remove those hands, take the arms out to the sides, and come back into Tadasana pose. Good. Let's take our hands to our hips once again and have a wide step out with the feet. So with our feet, we're going to turn both of our feet over to the right side of the room. You know, before we even do that, well, no, turn both of your feet over to the right. It's fine. And then from here, as you feel ready, you're going to hinge at the hips. And you're going to release your right hand down the right shin and extend your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling here. So press down through the right ball of the foot. Firm the right outer buttocks in. See that left outer pinky toe side of the foot presses down. Feel the left thigh drawing back. Good. Left buttocks firms in. So keep lengthening through the right side of the chest to the right armpit. Keep lengthening up from the left chest all the way to the left fingers. As you inhale here, float that left arm up. Arms out to the sides. Hands come to the hips. Turn your right foot in. Turn your left leg out. Arms out to the sides once again. Hinge at those hips. Release the left hand down the leg. Extend the right arm up towards the ceiling. So press through the right heel. Press through the left ball of the foot. Draw that left outer hip back. So see that both sides of the chest begin to spread here as you lengthen through the backs of the shoulders. Breathe here as you continue to lengthen and extend through your heart, navel, and sternum. Inhale, floating that right arm up towards the ceiling. Hands come to the hips. Turn both feet into parallel. Good. And as you exhale, step your feet back together. Come back into a standing posture. So standing mountain pose, believe it or not, this pose is quite an advanced pose. Even though the actions of the body are fairly simple, we spread across the feet, we press down through the four corners, lift up through the inner knees, wrap the outer legs in, from the buttocks in, engage the belly, lengthen through the chest. So there's a lot of different actions, various actions through the pose. But as you continue to breathe here, you're opening up that chest, heart, and sternum here. Good. And then as you feel ready, inhale, float those arms forward in front of you, bend the knees, and come into Utkatasana or chair pose. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold, releasing here. As you inhale, lengthening through the chest, take the hands down to the mat, walk the feet back, find your way into plank. So plank pose, lower those knees down. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. So take the forehead onto the mat and begin to inhale, peel up the chest. So eventually, yes, you're going to lift up the forehead. You're going to peel up the chest. Walk the hands back next to the side ribs and hug the outer elbows in. So you can maybe even walk those hands back more. Good. Inhale, float that right leg up. So once again, press down through the left ball of the foot. This time our fingertips are on the floor as we lift through the chest. As you exhale, lower that right foot down. Keep the chest lifted. Press the right foot down. Inhale, float the left side of the chest up. Breathe here. Breathing as you continue to lengthen and extend. As you exhale, lower that foot down. Spread across the fingers. Press down through the toes. Float the thigh bones back. Downward facing dog pose. And continue to breathe. Good. And from downward facing dog pose, we're going to step the right foot forward in between the hands. We're only going to take the foot 3/4 of the way forward. Spin the left heel out. Inhale, take the hands to the hips and come back up. So from here, you're going to begin to spin the left hip forward as you draw the right hip back. Interlace the hands behind the back here and begin to pull the fingers down the back body. Lift the chest, lift the heart up. As you hinge on forward, draw that right hip back as you lengthen the left side of the chest forward. So you're extending through the crown of the head here, hugging that belly in, lengthening through the sternum, chest, heart, and sternum here. Good. As you inhale, float the arms back and come back up. Now, walk those feet forward, bend deeply into that right knee. One more time. Inhale, lift the arms up. Good. As you exhale here, you're going to take the hands and you're going to place the hands down on the mat, and you're going to begin to spin the left ball of the foot towards, or the left heel towards the ceiling. As you feel ready, walk forward through those hands, and you're going to come up into a standing L-shaped pose. Keep lifting through that left leg, release the head down, and breathe here. And continue to breathe here as you draw that right outer hip back. Belly's engaged, eyes are soft. Eventually, you'll walk those hands back. You'll inhale, lift up the chest and heart, and one more time, bend deeply into that right knee as you extend the arms out to the ceiling. Straighten through that leg again. Take the hands behind the low back. Interlace the fingers here. One more time, bend that right knee. This time, begin to lift those arms up and over the head. So see that the left shoulder begins to release down to the mat as you lift up through the right shoulder. That's it. Press down through that left outer heel. Breathe as you lengthen through both sides of the chest. Hug that belly in. Breathing here. And as you inhale, peel up both sides of the chest. Float the arms up towards the ceiling and straighten across that right leg. One more time, bend through that right knee. This time, take the hands to the mat and step your right leg to meet the left leg at the back of the mat. So moving through a vinyasa or staying right there in downward facing dog pose.
Good. Downward facing dog pose.
This time, stepping the left foot in between the hands, spinning the right heel down. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling. So spread across the fingers, float the outer arms in, take the arms forward in front of you, wrap the outer triceps in, and float the arms up. Straighten across that left leg. So once again, we may need to step the right foot forward just a little bit and then begin to turn your hips so the right hip moves towards that left foot. Draw that left outer hip back, draw the right hip forward, hands come behind the back, interlace the opposite way. Pull the fingers down the spine, lengthen through the chest, and begin to hinge forward as you lift those arms on up. Breathe here. Keep pressing through that right heel. Keep lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum, and continuing to breathe. And as you inhale here, lift the chest, heart, and sternum up. Bend that left knee. Inhale, fold the arms up towards the ceiling again. As you exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Spin onto the ball of your right foot. Float that right leg up and breathe here.
Release the head on down. Keep lifting through that right leg as you breathe.
Good, and then as you walk the hands back, you begin to bend deeply into that left knee. Inhale, float the arms up. Straighten across that leg. One more time, hands come to the behind the hips. Interlace the fingers here and bend deeply into that left knee. Interlace the fingers, pull the fingers back and down the spine. Take the arms up and over the head and find your way back into your nice, long, humble warrior. Baddha Virabhadrasana. Press to that right outer foot. See if the chest can just hover off of that left thigh. Keep bending into that left knee. Keep drawing the left outer hip back. And come back up to standing. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, one more time, plant those hands down to the mat. Step the left leg back, shift forward into plank. Lower those knees down. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers this time. And begin to peel up the chest. As you wrap the outer triceps in. Firm the belly in. Squeeze the outer thighs in. Lengthen through those side ribs as you breathe here. Maybe float the right leg up, maybe float the left leg up. Continue to breathe here as you lengthen across the spine. Keep allowing the chest, heart, and sternum to lengthen on forward. As you exhale, release those hands back down to the side ribs.
Inhale, peel up the chest here. Exhale, floating the thighs on back and finding your way back into downward facing dog. Downward facing dog pose, continuing to breathe here. Releasing the head down towards the mat, wrapping the outer armpits in as you breathe. Walk the feet forward towards the hands as you inhale, lengthening through the chest. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana pose. As you exhale, glide the arms back down into the sides of the body. So one more time, let's take those hands to the hips. You're going to bend deeply into the left knee. And you're going to take the left leg and you're going to cross it over the right. So bend that right knee. Maybe you can double cross the legs so that the left foot wraps around the back of the right shin. And then from here, you'll bring your hands to the center chest. So one more time, inhale, float the arms up. You can either keep the hands at the center chest, you can wrap your right arm, or you can wrap your left arm underneath your right, or you can take the double wrap of the wrist and be here. As you feel ready, bend those knees a little bit more and take those arms forward in front of you as you lift the chest on up. As we move into eagle pose, keep drawing that right hip back. Keep allowing that left hip to draw forward and breathe here. Good. As you inhale, lift those arms up, uncross the legs, uncross the arms. Release the hands down to the sides. Hands come to the hips again. Okay. So from here, we bend the right knee deeply this time. You take the right leg, you cross it over the top of the left shin. You wrap it around. Take the hands to the center chest. And you take the right arm, you bring it underneath, wrap it up. Lift the elbows up. Now hinge at those hips, hinge at those hips, hinge at those hips. And lengthen through the chest. Draw the right hip back, draw the left hip forward. Breathe here. Continue to breathe. Continue to lengthen, continue to elongate, and uncross those legs, uncross those arms, and take the arms back down into the sides of the body. Continue to breathe here. And as you feel ready, you're going to find your way back into downward facing dog pose. So just set yourself up, downward dog. Spread across the fingers, lift the forearms up. Press the thigh bones back. Feel the calves moving towards the shins as the heels lengthen towards the back of the room. So the legs continue to move back towards the heels, and the arms continue to move forward and towards the fingers. The tailbone lengthens up towards the ceiling here. And as you exhale, lower those knees down to the mat. You're going to interlace the fingers here at the mat. Walk the feet back. Left foot steps on back. Press down to the fingers. Right foot steps on back. Begin to allow the heels to lengthen towards the buttocks to lengthen towards the heels. The belly is hugging in. Walk the feet in. Walk the feet in. Walk the feet in. And release the head on down. And just breathe here. Keep pressing through the wrists, forearm, fingers. Allow the head to release down towards the mat. Allow the eyes to be soft. Allow the breath to be long and slow. Good. And as you continue to breathe here, you'll walk the feet on back. You'll find your way back into your lengthening pose. Press down through the wrists, forearm, fingers. Gauge the belly here. And lower those knees down to the mat. All right. So as you continue to breathe here, you're going to take yourself and you're going to bring your way back. Take yourself, bring your way back, and just begin to extend your legs forward in front of you. So we're going to start by drawing the right knee into the chest and placing the right foot over the top of the left thigh. As you take the left hand behind the back, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling, bend at that right elbow, and begin to turn your chest over towards that left palm. This is called Marichyasana zero pose. Keep lifting through both sides of the chest here, so especially the left side of the chest has to lift up as well. And keep spinning your chest over towards that left shoulder. Good. As you're ready here, extend that right leg forward in front of you.
Take the left leg, bring the left knee to a bent position. Take the left arm around the leg, take the right hand back behind. Bend at that elbow, draw the elbow in towards the knee. As you draw the knee in towards the elbow, and begin to revolve the chest over towards your right. And breathe here. Good, and back to center again. You take that left leg. You'll extend that left leg forward once again. Now, take your right leg. Bring your right leg over top of the left, just like this, so the right knee bends over the left leg. And then walk the hands forward as you release the head down. This is called Ardha Gomukhasana legs. So just release the head on down. So it's similar to Garandasana. It's similar, but a little bit different. You continue to breathe here. Left outer hip flexor draws back, right outer hip flexor draws forward. Release the head down. And breathe into the backs of the waist. Good. Walk the hands back to the body. Take that right leg. We're going to do the opposite side. You draw that left knee in, cross it on over. Good. And then once you cross it on over, you'll release the head on down. And maybe the hands touch the feet. It doesn't matter. As long as you're creating length in the body and the spine, it's fine. Now lifting the chest on up. Taking the left leg forward in front of you. And breathing here. And then as you feel ready, you're going to have a seat on this block. You're going to take your left leg, you're going to cross it over like this. You're going to take your right leg, you're going to cross it over like this. The legs are going to come on top of one another, just like this. So you see how the left leg releases to the right leg releases to the left. You don't need to be on block. For me, in my pose, it's better if I'm on block because it just allows for my hips to be level. But if your hips can remain level and you can sit on the floor, that's fine. Walk the hands back behind you just slightly and just breathe here. That right hip is opening up. See that left hip is opening up. And then from here, you're going to start with your left arm. You're going to lift your left arm up towards the ceiling, spin the palm to the back of the room, place it on the left shoulder. You're going to take the right arm back behind you, bend that right elbow, glide it up your back. You're going to hug your hands together, hold the elbows, so allow your left elbow to reach up towards the ceiling. Allow your right elbow to reach down towards the floor as you breathe here. Okay, and then release. So now we're going to switch. You're going to take the right leg, you're going to cross it underneath. You're going to take the left leg, you're going to cross it on top. from here, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling, place the left hand on the back shoulder. Take the right arm out to the side, bend that right elbow, place it up the back. Grab hold of the fingers here, lift that left elbow up, draw that right elbow down, and breathe. Keep drawing the left elbow into center. Keep drawing the right elbow down to the mat as you allow that breath to be long and slow here. And then release. Okay, take the hands, place the hands back behind you, and just begin to lift the chest here. And then as you feel ready, you'll uncross these legs. You'll take the legs out. And then from here, you'll once again recross. This is actually a different variation of the pose. This is called Ardha Matsyendrasana. So we've taken this before. You're going to take this time the left knee comes to a bend. The right knee comes on top. Scoot the hips over to the left just slightly. And then you're going to begin to twist towards the right leg. So you can, if you want, just place your left elbow on top of your right thigh or your right knee, and this is fine. You can place your right hand back behind you. The final pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana, is to have the left hand come underneath this right knee, so it kind of hooks underneath. Then the right elbow, it bends and it comes back behind the body. The fingers hold each other, and then you lean back. So the chest lifts up, but you lean back towards the sit bones. So you don't want the weight to be drifting forward. You want the weight to be back in those sit bones. That's it. And exhale and release here. Good. So we're going to take the other half of that. The right leg comes underneath. The left foot comes on top, just like this. And then we begin to see that our sit bones are even with the ground. Now, as you feel ready, take the right arm up towards the ceiling, drive that arm over. Take the left arm, drive it on back behind you. Now bend this left elbow, glide it underneath the back, bring hold of the rat, and then see that the weight drifts back from your thighs towards your heels. So you breathe here. Lean the chest back, lift the heart up. Good, and release. Okay, so from here, you're going to uncross these toes, and you're going to find your way onto your back now. All right, so these are some kind of more deeper stretches. We're going to hug the knees into the chest, come into a counter or transition pose, which is to draw the knees over towards the arms, or towards the left elbow. I don't know why my descriptions are not as good. All right, so keep lengthening, keep spinning the chest out. It's because I'm not paying attention to my body. As you feel ready, just begin to breathe here as you close the eyes. So both legs are drifted over to the left. And this should be a really nice stretch for the outer hip flexors as you continue to breathe here. And then back to center and to the other side. And then taking your feet down to the mat, taking your hands, bringing your hands underneath your low back, walking the left and right arms underneath you, and just pressing down through the fingers as you lift through the chest. This is called bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Keep wrapping those outer arms in. Keep pressing down through the tops of the thighs. Belly's in. Sternum draws towards the crown of the head. As you exhale, lower all the way down here. Release the arms out to the sides for a moment. So we're going to do that one more time. As you press down through the tops of the feet, inhale, begin to draw up the pelvis. Interlace the fingers under the back. Roll the shoulders underneath you. Lift through the chest, heart, sternum. Continue to breathe here. Press down through the tops of the feet. Firm the outer thighs in. Engage the belly. And as you exhale, lower that pelvis on down. Now take a block, place a block right underneath the pelvis here, and place it on the lowest setting. You're going to do Viparita Karani, so the knees come into the chest, and then you lift the legs up and over the head. So Viparita Karani is a pose that we take usually at the end of a practice, and it's really just to reset the body. Now when you take the legs over the head, it resets the blood flow. It allows for all the limbs to be active. It allows for the breath to be smooth. And you'll bend those knees, and you'll release the feet on down. You'll take the block, place it away from you. You'll hug the knees into the chest one more time. You'll take the knees over to the left. Just breathe here. So once again, a transitional pose. And drawing these knees back into the center chest, taking the knees over to the opposite side. And then from here, if you have blocks, take your blocks, place them underneath your legs with your feet together, your knees apart, and release here. And then from here, you'll take your legs and you'll begin to extend them forward as you release your entire body all the way down. This is called Shavasana, resting pose. And as you feel ready, take the knees into the chest, roll over onto the side, and as you feel ready, press your way on up and find your way into a seated position. So come into a seated position, cross the legs, close the eyes. Just begin to allow your breath to be long and slow here. Good. So from here, take your hands to your center chest. Begin to lift the head. If you'd like to join me, we can move in through an Om together. So taking a deep breath in. Releasing the chin towards the chest. Palms come to the tops of the thighs, palms face up. Lifting the head and opening the eyes. Namaste. So thank you guys so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's practice. My name is Jason Gorenstein. This was our Hatha Yoga Level 1-2 class. So our next Hatha Yoga 1-2 class is going to be on Hatha Yoga 1-2, Wednesday, June the 24th. So hopefully you guys can join us for that class. It should be a nice class. So I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. If you're not already subscribed to my Facebook page, please hit the thumbs up sign. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube page, please hit the like button or the subscribe button. I think I flipped that. Yes, these are a couple ways you guys can contribute by liking, hitting the heart sign, commenting, and sharing the videos. All of these are great ways if you have any interest in helping out with the practice. I also have a Venmo QR code if you feel like sending any contributions through Venmo. I'm always grateful for those. They help with building out the class, lighting, sound, color, audio, video, etc. So I hope you guys have an incredible rest of your day. Be well, be happy, my friends. Namaste. Thank you, guys.